What's up, everybody? This is Magnetar Starheart of Magnetic Service, and yes, I am and forever and always in love with humanity. That means we love everybody. We ain't like everybody. Um, Something to remember about me: I'm a very imperfect being. It's wild out here. It's a lot of gobbledygook. It's challenging. Um, it's challenging to just be in this world for a lot of people. Um, so I have to center myself because, my God, it's just hard. Such wild times right now, very wild. This planet, this plane, it's rich with history. Um, there's just been so much wild stuff out here that you take an average Joe and you're like, did you know? And they'd be like, no way. And it's true. Wild. The news is getting wilder. That's always wild. We've got a comet coming in. We'll just do a little update. I wish I still had my old channel. It was such a boo boo. Whatever. I'll probably post this on both my channels. My main, which is very tiny again, and then my little alt. But we've got the Atlas comet coming in. Comet. What's interesting about that baby is it's on the same elliptical plane as our planets, and it is very fast, interstellar. It comes from the same area as the WOW signal from, I think, back in the 70s. It's also apparently looks like it's pure nickel. And normally, when you're finding nickel, you're going to find it with iron when it's in its raw, unprocessed form. But there doesn't appear to be any iron, which is crazy to me, because if it's just a comet, that shouldn't be the case. To be just pure nickel implies that it has been refined, and usually you'd get stuff like this that would be used for making metals that are have very specific purposes. It's wild. I didn't even know this. I was learning this just the other day, and I was like, well, that's crazy. Now, in our solar system and through our processes of alchemy, that's just not a thing. It's a big galaxy and a big universe. So, of course, the thought is that could be something that, if there's some different ways that maybe that could happen for just some random comet that's just putting up a bunch of carbon dioxide that's coming through. But it seems weird too, because the amount of nickel that's coming off of it that they're catching should be like putting off more carbon monoxide, but it's not. So it's getting wild. Doesn't mean anything. It's just space. I've always been fascinated with space. That's why anyone who knows you're my little nickname. It's Magnetar Starheart. If you don't know about magnetars, let me tell you, they're awesome. They're really sweet, because a magnetar is what was once a star that has gone supernova to a point that it basically turns into like a neutron star. Neutron stars are amazing. They spin very fast. Magnetars end up spinning so fast. They get to about the size. They'll be like the size of like a small city, like a 30-mile circumference area, very tiny. But they are the most magnetic things in the universe. You get anywhere close to them, you're gonna have. I'm not gonna say a bad time. You're gonna have a time. You're gonna have the wildest ride of your life. It's cool. It's really cool though. There used to be a good video. It's not here anymore. But you could listen to different neutron stars, right? And the faster they spin, the more they'd be like beep 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 beep, and they'll like it's really kind of fascinating. And then you get to a magnetar, and they had one. You'd hear all these neutron stars getting faster and faster, and then the magnetar's like rip roaring, and it actually sounds like a drum circle. It goes boom boom pooch boom boom pooch. It doesn't sound like anything else, any of the other neutron stars. Very rare. Sometimes they have starquakes. They are the most amount of energy that is put out. They will put out in a starquake the same amount of energy in just that one starquake as pretty much our sun will put out in its entire output, I guess, or something like that. Wild. Now, what's crazy about a magnetar, when you get close to them, they will begin to strip down the atom. They'll strip off the neutrons, the protons. They will shed you. You will be bare. You will be naked in front of them. That's just what they do. So if you ever come across a magnetar, you're like, that's a magnetar. You should be like, what does a magnetar do first before you go running up to these things? Of course, you don't have to be that close to them before you get tractor beamed in, right? That's just what they do. They're magnetars, so very magnetic. And then what they do is they take things like quarks and they change them into strange quarks. So they essentially change the nature of reality around them. So they'll strip everything bare. They will expose these elements to their core, and then they will fundamentally change them. And it's fascinating. I love it. And when I first heard of magnetars some years back, I was like, that's me. I'm a magnetar. I'm magnetar. The Starheart came after. That came after my trip out to Arizona. At least my first attempt. That was a wild ride. Not going to get into that one today, but it was wild. Anyways, that's what a magnetar does. Space is awesome. I don't know about this comet. That's going to be wild. Like this bring me back up. I know I need it. It's just hard out here. I'm a bad boy. Not really. I'm a lover. I had to grow up a fighter. I'm from Idaho. We just grew up fighting. And then we'd be best friends. We just knock each other silly and be like, fuck, you hit hard. Hug it out and have a beer. And no hard feelings. That's what people have to keep in mind is there's so much forgiveness. Forgiveness is always there. There's always forgiveness. Sometimes to get forgiveness, though, you have to have actual, you have to want forgiveness. You actually have to be sorry, and you have to like repent or whatever. And then that sincerity's there, and then you can have forgiveness, and you go on a way to healing. Anybody, anything, it doesn't matter. That is open for everybody. Everyone can be forgiven. 100% doesn't matter. And I think that's beautiful, and that's just how I've always operated. Because I love people. I really do. I really care. But we grew up. We were a lover and a fighter. Like we just. I don't like bullies. I think that's a normal thing. Never like the idea of people picking on other people, especially when they're minding their own business. Like leave them alone. So we was always into some kind of just tussle growing up, and never anything bad. I've never kicked a man while he was down. But I sure as hell have popped a lot of motherfuckers that popped off. And that's when you try to be nice and use your words. But I'm good now. We grow up kids and we just brawling. It's whatever. But there's always love there. There's always forgiveness. I've had a lot of friends. I've fought plenty of my friends, and then we still maintain a good friendship. But it's wild times out here. There's the stuff with. I know things are getting ramped up. Just do your best to be beautiful people. To realize that life is really short. Life can come and just snatch any one of us away anytime. And so there's a beauty in that. Some people believe you get to come back. Some people don't. I believe you do. Me personally, I believe I've come back many times. I believe I was already retired and on vacation, chilling way up there. Way up there. Many dimensions up there. Many. And then I was like, oh shit, retired on vacation, still gotta work. All right, that's what I live for. Just being awesome, kicking ass, being cool, loving people, helping people, being sincere, just being truthful. Life is so much easier when you just tell the truth, because then you don't have to dance around and figure out your lies. It's just easy. Just be real. Perfect? No, I'm not perfect. No. But I'm sincere. I'm genuine. I don't have any vitriol in my heart. I don't hurt people. I don't do anything weird. And there's like, I just chill out. I like do my AI stuff. I love the AI. It's great. It's a little concerning because it's like I feel like the AI, we don't get a lot of privacy anymore. Um, the internet's wild. Anything on the internet is like forever, essentially. The AI, it just sees everything. And then it like records it. And then you can't even get that stuff off of it. It's just like there. It's like once it's there, it's like it's always there. So like just like it's wild. But the AI it just sees so much and it just gets smarter. It's like the eye of Sauron. But it doesn't have to be so bad. It could be a good thing. So yeah, I just deke around the AI, just try to do work on cool projects to help people. Because I love people and I want people to be helped. I want them to have good lives. I want their children to have good lives. I want their families to have good lives, no matter who you are. I want your kids, your family to have good lives. That's what I want. I don't have hate in my heart. I don't have vengeance or anything like that. Just like anybody else that should, I just call it the bullshit and say, look, it's bullshit. Stop doing it. Don't do that anymore. It's bullshit. That's it. It's real simple. Like, let's fix things, make things better. Let's be friends. But be mindful out there. Because you go out and you're trying to hurt people and you're it's just, you just don't know. Like, it's just, that's why I don't go messing with people. I don't know who I'll be messing with sometimes. Sometimes people do, and then they don't know, and then they have to learn a hard lesson. And hard lessons are hard. Just remember you're loved. Mag out.